roti ese utama gati Shri Guru Charane roti ese utama gati te prasade purshava
Do you give him the mic? Mic to Sundar. Mic the opposite side. Which same as last time?
Rangapalake.
86.
86? Yeah. I don't think it's 86.
Going to help.
86. Rangapalake. 86, please. Jai Shri Krishna. Goranga bolite abe pulaka sarira hari hari bolite na anye babenira Goranga bolite abe pulaka sarira Hari Hari bolite na Araka benite chare karuna huibe samsara vasana mora kabe tu chabe Karuna vive samsara vasana mora tujhe Goranga bolite abe ulaka sarira Hari Hari bolite na anye babenira Visaya Tadiya Kabe Sudaha Bemana Kabe Amahira Bose Shri Vrindavana Goranga bolite abe pulaka sarira Hari Hari bolite na anye babenira Bolite abe pulaka sarira Rupa Ragunata Pade Abe Akuti Abe Amabuja Bose Yugala Periti Rupa Ragunata Pade Ama puje base Goranga bolite abe apulaka sarira Hari Hari bolite na anye babenera Ranga Rupa Ragunata Pade Rahu Morasa Ratana Karoye Sada Anaro Tamadasa Hari Hari Bolitena Anye Babinera Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Nandan Jaya Gaurari Sachinandan Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol Jai
Okay, Claire, you know Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we've sung already, huh? So you can sing along with us.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Ola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yashodanandana, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Yashodanandana, Radhika Ramana, Rama, Hare Hare, Radhika Ramana, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Radhe Jai Jai. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Radhe Jai Jai. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Radhe Jai Jai. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari 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 Bo. Gaur Nityananda Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaur Nityananda Bo. Gaur Nityananda Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaur Nityananda Bo. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Om. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, श्री श्री राधा ललित माधव जी की जय, प्रपन्नों के गुरुदेव गुरुवर्ग की जय, परमराज तुम गुरुपाद पद्म की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि ओम। Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy Asim Prabhu came today, so I'd like to ask him to speak a few words. Please, introductory. 10-15 minutes about we were discussing Bhagavad-gita, and Asim Prabhu is just holding Bhagavad-gita series of Bhagavad-gita lectures in Hastings. So we're discussing up to 6th chapter. So you can sit on the chair, both these mics, and also this
as well. Okay.
on the left.
Jai. I'll just get this chair. So a little bit of Bhagavad-gita.
Absolutely. You can give overview of first 6 chapters, otherwise just introduction, and we have
Yeah.
new friends.
Three mics. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Kamalaya Govinda Goswami Tinamine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, everybody, welcome. And yeah, it's nice. Sadhu Maharaj comes and we all meet here. Yeah. So Bhagavad-gita, the Song of the Lord. This is like one treasure in India, no? And it's the sort of the climactic point of the Mahabharata. So Mahabharata's huge, epic, longest poem ever written. Yeah. And Bhagavad-gita shows up just before the war. So just before the climax of the story. And Krishna is basically, he's trying to give hope to Arjuna, or trying to give strength to Arjuna. Arjuna is seeing everybody and he is thinking, oh, these are my family, these are my friends, these are the people that I know, and they're all on the other side, they want to fight me. It's better I give up. So he says that. And then Krishna is teaching him yoga, which is helping him to transcend the bodily conception of life. Because he's seeing this person is my father, this person my brother, son, and all this. But in another life, it will be different. Now maybe you'll be their dad, you'll be... So same like in the Bhagavatam when Sukadev Goswami, he left, and then he shouts, so Vyasadev shouts after him, my son, my son. And Sukadev says back, my son? Who is son? Who is father? So in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that the soul is eternal and never dies and never has actually been born. It's only appearance and disappearance, but the soul lives on forever. And the journey of the soul is one that can be walked, and the goal of the life of the soul is to reach the the transcendental platform, the spiritual platform, and your spiritual body, your spiritual form, spiritual name. And this is done by yoga. And so he first explains that this is done by yoga, and then he explains Bhakti yoga is the topmost all yogas. And throughout Gita, Bhakti is being glorified. So many times Krishna has, in the scriptures, Bhakti is always glorified. But people don't, masses of people, they don't believe, they don't listen, they don't think, oh, that's true, So Krishna again and again, he glorifies Bhakti. So yeah, the Gita. So each chapter has some different path of yoga, but in the end of every chapter, you will see somehow it ties back to bhakti. And the idea is that through the whole of the Gita, Arjuna is losing his doubts, and slowly, he gains the power to fight. And lastly, when Krishna shows him his universal form, Arjuna now knows it breaks his friendship mood, yeah, his mood of friendship, and he sees the awe and reverence of Krishna. He sees him actually as he is, and then he says, "No, I don't like that form. I don't like this universal form. It's too scary. I want to see your forearm form, which is opulence form. Yeah, this is what everybody thought God was. The divine form, beautiful forearms." And then he saw that. He said, "No, I don't want to see that form. I want to see my friend Krishna form." So by this, we also know that the form of Krishna with two hands is superior. And Arjuna has also, so Krishna is dispelling his doubts, but then the question will come then, if Arjuna is incarnation of Krishna, and Arjuna is like Nara Narayan Rishi, and so these are eternal associates of the Lord. How is possible Arjuna can be bewildered by such mundane thought? So this is Krishna's spell. He's placing him under his yoga maya. Yeah. So maya deludes the living entities like us who have, or like me, who have the we are bewildered by the material energy. We are still trying to attain the spiritual platform. But for those that have attained the spiritual platform, they can no longer be bewildered by maya. So therefore, Krishna has a special maya. It's called yoga maya. And he casts that over his devotees sometimes to perform a leela. And this is why also Krishna is called Leela Avatar, or the Leela Purushottam. Because so many of his, so many stories we gain spiritual understanding from by him performing a pastime. And everything is arranged by him, yeah, but we don't see. Like on top of the table we can see, yeah, but underneath the table he's pulling all the strings, yeah. So this is also some little introduction to Bhagavad-gita. But generally speaking, it is the summary of Vedas. It is a sort of the Vedas in a nutshell. And it contains actually everything in Bhagavad-gita, even Gopi Gita, Gopi Tattva, the Gopis is in Bhagavad-gita. Yeah. But it is, you have to know where, you know. So Krishna is expounding everything, but it is also an Upanishad. Upanishad means it is like a mirror. It reflects something to you. So if you see Krishna saying, generally in the Upanishad, it is less candid. Krishna is very candid in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, "I'm the basis of the Brahman. Everything is strung on me like pearls on a string." You know, he's saying, "I am the super soul within your heart." You know, he's telling us straight. But in the other Upanishad, it is more hidden and it's more like reflective. So whatever you think is Brahman, you will gain some meaning. But as your knowledge increases, your understanding will increase. So it is Upanishad as well. So it is slightly covered. Yeah. So the full explanation of Vedas for the Kali Yuga is in the Bhagavatam. And we generally say first you read Gita, then Bhagavatam, then Chaitanya Bhagavat. So yeah, so nice. Maharaj is glorifying Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe.
Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ananda Lilamaya Vigrahaya Mabadivicha Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalokalmashanashaya Janavapataye Namaha Ajanalambita Bhujo Kanakavadato Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Jugadharma Palavande Jagatpriya Karo Kurunavataram Kanakajaladagatro Nilashonabjanetro Mrigamadavara Bala Malati Kundamala Taravataruna Vesha Nilapitambaresha Smarani Britani Kunje Radhika Krishna Chandra Tavaivasmi Najivamitvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Naimam Charantike Sarvapanishado Gavo Dogdam Gopalanandana Parthavatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Mahat Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Ho, Srila Gurudeva Ki Jai. First of all, my unlimited Dandavat pranams to lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Nityala, my spiritual master, Nityala Prishtam Vishnupada Stutra Sati Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, my Shiksha Gurudev or instructing spiritual master, Nityala Prishta Om Vishnupada Stutra Sati Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Also to the commentator of Bhagavad-gita, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and all the line of disciplic succession from Srila Rupa Goswami, Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, also dear devotees and friends in Fairwarp and also online, those who are watching us now or in recording, Hare Krishna. So we were discussing in these programs in yoga studios, etc., for new people, we were discussing Bhagavad-gita. So you've heard about the book a little bit, Claire, right? And would like to offer you this copy on the book table if you don't have one. So Bhagavat means divine and Gita means song. Just before the battle of Kurukshetra started, it's a huge battle which was signifying the end of the previous cosmic age, or Dvapara Yuga, Copper Age, and the dark age of Kali Yuga or Iron Age started. So the beginning of the great battle, the best warrior of the world, Arjuna, who was driven by his dear friend, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, became morose because he saw on the opposite side his friends, his relatives, his gurus even, such as Bhishma and Drona, and he was totally bewildered. He lowered his hands and said, "O Partha, O Mukunda, I will not fight." He told Krishna, "I will not fight." So we heard how in the second chapter, Krishna was telling Arjuna about the soul, Atma Tattva, or the truth about the soul. You cannot kill anyone. Nobody can kill you because you're immortal. I'm also immortal. And I remember all of our previous lives, but you don't. You forgot. So the soul cannot be killed. The soul cannot be moistured by water, withered by the wind, burned by fire, affected by any types of weapons in this world. The soul is totally transcendental. Even, O Arjuna, even if you die in battle, you will gain heavenly kingdom. And if you win in the battle, you'll gain the kingdom in this planet. So nothing to worry about. Also, if you refuse to fight, you will escape the battlefield. You'll be known as a coward. And for a great warrior, to be known as a coward is worse than death. So nothing says for you that you should not fight. You should fight. So all the time, Krishna is saying about that. A few days ago, we were hearing in Wales how in the second chapter of Bhagavad-gita, Krishna said to Arjuna, so far I was explaining to you Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical study of material elements, about the 24 elements of this world. The 10 senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, the mind, intelligence, false ego, sense objects. So already almost 24. So then pradhana, the sum total of material elements, more or less this is 24. And number 25 is the soul. It's above the 24. And number 26 is the super soul, is the Lord in the heart. So the Vedas are saying about the two birds sitting on the same tree on two different branches. One soul is pecking the fruits of the tree, both bitter and sweet, means good and bad material reactions. That is, the first bird signifies individual living entity, individual soul. And the second bird is just observing the activities of the first bird silently. So the silent witness is the super soul. That is the Lord in the heart. The Lord is neutral for those who don't want to look at him. And he just gives the results automatically, like a magic machine. You press the button and you get a glass of nectar. 5p, 15p, 50p, whatever you invest, you get. According to that, the taste, but no more than that. No more. The machine will never give you anything for free. So in that same way, Paramatma Super Soul will not give you any sanction for which you're not qualified. So when the soul starts looking for God, I'm disappointed with this material life. I know that this is like banging your forehead into the wall. You don't get anything but, a lot of blood and sweat and tears. So nothing will come. Then Super Soul says, all right, I can see that you want to see me. So I will give you some hints how to do that. Go to those people, get that book, read it, take up that practice, chant my name. Everything is regulated by the Super Soul. So the individual soul becomes a devoted soul, always in touch with the Supreme Lord in the process of yoga. Yoga means union. So yoga is basically union between the individual soul and Super Soul. So Krishna says, in the first I told you about those 25, 24 plus 2, 26 elements, soul and super soul, everything. I told you more or less. Now I will tell you something about the path, the buddhi yoga, the yoga of intelligence, union of the individual living entity with the super soul through the process of devotional service, or we call it bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga and buddhi yoga, the path of devotion or the path of intelligence is the same. An intelligent person, truly intelligent person, understands perfectly well that the path of devotion is best, because it gives you the unforgettable taste of eternal relationship with the Supreme. Each and every one of us has the potential to develop attraction for the Supreme Lord. Now we're residents of material world. You see this lower sphere. One universe of so many is ours, and 14 planetary systems. Earth is number 8 in between, so we can travel up and down heaven and hell, from Christianity. But the news for you maybe today is that there's no eternal hell and eternal heaven. You have to return from both to this planet. So from here, this is like a starting point for the spiritual world through the process of spiritual development. So before, in previous ages, people were doing meditation, people were doing fire sacrifices, people were doing worship of the deities. But now these processes, although they're still existent, they are not super practical. They're not number one. The number one process is chanting of the holy name. This chanting of the holy name doesn't require any qualification except for human form. If you have a human form, you can chant. If you have one tongue, if you have voice, if you have teeth, then you can chant. And most significantly, you have a heart for that, so you can chant. So you can see this line, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This wonderful prayer is called Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Maha means great, mantra means liberating the mind, Tra means to liberate, and man means mind. So your mind contains so many impressions from so many lifetimes. We've been in all the types of bodies, 8,400,000 types of bodies. Beasts, mosquitoes, bacteria, stones, trees, demigods, and also human bodies, but probably we're not using them to the utmost. That's why, again, we're still in material world, still we're getting material bodies one after another. So the human body is very, very rare, and it's very, very significant to use it properly. Labdva sudurlabhamidam bahusambhavanti manushyam artadam anityam apihadira turna metadana bhatena mritya yavat nikshreya shaya vishaya kalasarvatasyam. It is said in the Vedas, in these ancient scriptures, that as soon as you've got human body, you should know that it's very, very rare. Sudurlabha means extremely rare. After many, many, many lifetimes, you got it. This body brings you highest, benefit. Arthadam. Highest artha means highest benefit, highest good. Because you can go from this world to the other. In the body of a demigod, you cannot, because you're too much attached to sense enjoyment. In the body of an animal, also you cannot, because your consciousness is not developed. But in the human body, you can really, really go beyond the border of this material world and enter spiritual kingdom. And that is the eternal function of the soul, really. To develop spiritual body, this is our task. We have material body of two parts, gross and subtle. Gross body has is made of 5 material elements: ether, air, water, fire, earth. Mind, intelligence, and false ego, self-identification, constitute subtle body. So in the subtle body, we travel to the next gross body according to our emotions, desires. But in the next gross body, again we start the same, looking for sense enjoyment. So that's why by the process of yoga we have to end that search for material sense enjoyment that will not lead you to perfection. Again and again you'll be facing only trouble, actually. Disease, birth, death, old age, disease. 6 stages of the development of the body. Again and again you will go through. Birth, growth, maturity, creating byproducts, children, many others also, but mostly children. Then what? Then dwindling and death. 6. That's it. No more. No more. That's the general law for all types of bodies. But it's quite pitiful that in human form we do the same. There are 4 types of activities humans do along with other living beings, such as animals. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But human is able to do much, much more than that. What is that? Dharma vritti. Dharma vritti means the proclivity for spiritual advancement through bhakti, through the process of self-realization, through devotion, devotional service. So that is it. So Krishna spoke about that. And Krishna spoke about karma yoga. Karma yoga means yoga of activity. The 3rd and 4th and 5th chapters he was speaking karma yoga. Generally in the 6 first chapters Krishna speaks about karma yoga. Karma means activity. So everybody has some occupation, some activity. So it's proper to engage your activity in the service of the Supreme. That is called karma yoga. So if you're a teacher, then you're a bhakta teacher. Means a devotee teacher. If you're a driver, you're a bhakta driver. If you're a builder, you're a bhakta builder. If you're a sailor, you're a bhakta sailor, bhakta salesman, etc., etc. So you engage your heart in the service, and you engage your activities in the service. So you bring the fruits of your occupational duties to the Supreme Lord selflessly. This is called Nishkama Karma Yoga. We were speaking about that yesterday. So then, as a result, a lot of knowledge will come. Jnana Yoga, you will be practicing. This is the 4th chapter, Jnana Yoga, the yoga of knowledge. So, through Jnana Yoga, you understand, I am not this body, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. This material energy is binding me by the 3 binding forces. You remember them, Claire? Goodness, passion, ignorance. 3. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So whatever we see in this world is covered more to bigger or smaller degree with those 3 modes, or the combination, their combination. Some people are predominated mostly with sattva guna, means mode of goodness. Those people are healthy, happy, they help others, they're big altruists, they're helping the poor, they're opening charity organizations, schools, hospitals, they dig wells, they plant trees like this, so for betterment of conditions of human society, etc. So that is goodness. Then passion. Well, passion is the driving force of all material activity in this world. No, money, brighter than sunshine, sweeter than honey, attachment to the opposite sex, tendency to accumulate wealth, tendency to create progeny, tendency to be better than your neighbor, like this. Always, always, they are quite proud, such people. So, and ignorance. So ignorance is forgetfulness of your soul, false theories, false views, violence of all kinds, hatred, then passivity in the form of, how to say? Nescience, yeah, but inertia, sleepiness, those people are sleepy, forgetful, stupid, intoxicated, you know. So they are under the influence of nescience. So Arjuna tells Krishna, Krishna tells Arjuna, sorry, I always mix them up. So Krishna tells Arjuna, step beyond these 3 binding forces of material nature and become situated on transcendental platform. How to do that? Through a yoga ladder. Yoga ladder. There's a ladder of yoga systems. So the first step is karma yoga. So you come from this world, it means you're doing karma. So you're called karmi, means material worker. So you take your activity and dedicate to the Supreme. If you have a garden with, say, 20 apple trees, so 20% you give to the Supreme. 20% means 4 trees are fully, those apples belong to the temple, for example. Yes, very good, very purifying. First, you have something in exchange. You want to be glorified. Bhakta such and such, ki jai. And then you don't want any glorification. You don't want any results to be possessed by you. You know that anyway, all the results, they belong to the Supreme Lord. Yesterday we were quoting from 5th chapter, which is, to say, giving the conclusion of the Karma Yoga system. Bhaktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatvam shantim richati. One who knows me, Krishna is saying, as Bhakta, means the enjoyer. Yagyatapasam, the center of all sacrifices, of all austerities, the controller of all the worlds, who knows me to be the best friend of all living beings, is in knowledge, and that person will have peace. So that's peace formula. Nowadays there is so much war because people don't know this. They're thinking, this is mine. And if you say, this is mine, then actually you're a thief. And a thief must be punished. So people are punished by wars, for their cruelty to animals, especially cows, and so many things. So this is called a trap on the path of karma. But if you become karma yogi, or you're uniting with the Supreme Lord through your activity, it means you're totally purified. You're no longer contaminated by the 3 binding forces of material nature. You become free. from any impediments, any impurities. So you become perfect through that. So then, after karma yoga, you also practice jnana yoga. We're trying to be situated on the path of devotional service, and actually, karma yoga and jnana yoga, or the yoga of activity and yoga of knowledge, automatically included in the process of bhakti. So we study about Krishna. This is jnana. We hear about Krishna. We repeat. We go and we study. We investigate, and we try to memorize the imports of the spiritual philosophy, Siddhanta. And the other yoga we were talking about yesterday is called dhyana. Dhyana means meditational yoga. So we meditate, we chant the holy name on beads, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Moreover, we have our individual mantras, Gayatri mantras, which we chant. This is called dhyana, or meditation. When we remember about Krishna, we remember about the pastime places related to him. We remember some verses describing Krishna's beauty or imports of his philosophy. This is called dhyana also. This is meditation. So we meditate, we remember. There's also meditation. So the whole complex of yogas is included in the bhakti yoga. So bhakti is the highest yoga, bhakti or devotional service. So yesterday we finished at the last verse of chapter 6, which deals with dhyana. Krishna is saying, Yoginamampi sarvesham madgatinantaratmamash shraddhavan bhajate yomam semeyukta tamo mataha. Amongst all yogis, O Arjuna, the best is one who always serves me with love and devotion. So, with one-pointed intelligence, he's serving me. That's why he's the best of all yogis. So, such yogi is called bhakti yogi, or devotee of the Lord. So, he's bhakti yogi. So, he doesn't want anything. He wants only Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's good. So, nadhanam najanam na sundarim kavitam vajagati shakamaya mama janmani janmanishwari bhagavat bhakti rahaitu kitvai. Lord Chaitanya said, "Oh my Lord, I don't want to accumulate wealth. I don't want neither followers or beautiful ladies described in mundane poetry. The only thing I want is serving you lifetime after lifetime, not desiring anything in exchange." So that is the beautiful path of bhakti. You could ask, oh, nothing for yourself. How is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Because when you give everything to the whole, to the sum total, to the richest person, do you think you'll become a poor man who has nothing? Well, you can notice that sometimes devotees of Krishna are quite poor. That is true. That is true. But Krishna never leaves them unattended. He always gives them their necessities, and they are happy with a dry chapati, Indian bread roll, and some milk or some rice. So they are quite happy with that. They're really happy because Krishna is in their heart, and their bodies are actually spiritual. So just to maintain the bodies, and so that's why our saints were great Goswamis, like 6 Goswamis you can see here. They were residing in Vrindavan. Formerly, they were very rich people. One of them was prime minister of the ruler, Muslim ruler. The other one was personal advisor. They were having thousands and thousands of gold coins at that time, like billions of dollars. So they left it all behind, like rubbish. And they came to Vrindavan, the holy abode we reside in, and in only loincloths, kopins, they were chanting, hearing, and remembering about Krishna. They were writing transcendental books. They were on the topmost level of spiritual advancement. Therefore, the Lord was providing for everything for them. They didn't need to ask for anything, actually. They were given. Maybe they were asking some madhukari, so they were given at once. But you see, this path is such that everything falls from the sky, as we were discussing today at the table. Attendi and Swarna, Latas. Everything falls from the sky. That's the process. But there's one condition: you have to have faith for that. If you don't have faith, then go to work. If you don't have faith, then don't go to work. Okay, so that's going. Faith is growing. I'm working, and when the faith is of sufficient level, then I don't need to work. No, so it will come automatically like this. So then Krishna starts to describe the path of bhakti. And today we'll discuss chapter 9, which is called Most Confidential Knowledge, otherwise known as Raja Guhya Yoga, the most confidential knowledge. So Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. This is a very favorite verse. I love it so much. Actually, this is the very first verse I heard in a Hare Krishna program back in 1988. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshavangamam Dharmyam Susukkam Kartum Avyayam. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada made devotees repeat Sanskrit many times, word for word, and then the whole text. So that's why I realize now, after many years, why. Because this is so important, that purifies your mind and then gives you approach to bhakti. So Krishna is saying, this knowledge is king of all knowledge, Raja Vidya, the monarch of all confidential truths, topics. It is extremely pure and can be directly realized. Pratyakshavaagam, dharmyam. The transcendental wisdom is consonant with the principles of dharma. Now, dharma means your constitutional duty. So this knowledge is just what you want, actually. Like water, If a person is thirsty, like I became thirsty right now, and I asked for, give me some, because that's without H2O, you cannot exist. So in that same way, without this knowledge, without this transcendental knowledge of the soul, the super soul, the path of devotion, you cannot really exist. You can try, but you'll not be happy. You will not be happy. That's 100% guarantee. You will not be happy. So this knowledge gives you approach for your real need. What is our real need? If you ask an intoxicated person, what's your real need? He will say, another portion, give me. People get addicted, intoxicated on anything. The screen, the music, anything, opposite sex. These things are not forbidden. Okay, drugs are forbidden. Alcoholism is very undesirable in this society. But many, many things are not forbidden. So people are on them, and people are extremely unhappy. So if you ask a person who is intoxicated or addicted, what do you want? Another portion. So you give another portion, another portion, and after another portion, after another. Finish. That's all. So you collapse. Your body collapses. That's it. But the seekers of bhakti, they are the seekers of transcendental nectar. And when you get to very, very high level of devotional service, which is called bhav, or spiritual emotion, then your body collapses. That is true. Your body cannot endure such high voltage. So the body just collapses. And you gain spiritual body. You will take birth from the womb of a maidservant of Krishna in Vrindavan, from a gopi. And there you will gain some instructions how to serve the divine couple. So you will get spiritual body. That is the essence. This transcendental wisdom is consonant with the principles of dharma. It is comprehended without difficulty and is eternal. This knowledge is eternal. As the soul is eternal, the knowledge about the soul is also eternal, and the path leading to the realization of the soul and super soul also eternal. So we are eternal, Krishna is eternal, everything is eternal, but Maya is temporary. Well, it's spiritual energy of the Lord, that's true, but it has two faculties, functions. Avaranatmika, prakshepatmika. covering, dragging down. So too. So how to escape its action? Practicing yoga, practicing yoga. Yesterday we were hearing, Krishna was explaining, how about the fate of an unsuccessful yogi? Unsuccessful yogi. Where does an unsuccessful yogi go? Oh, then Krishna says, if somebody was in the path, but then illusion still covered him, no harm. He will never lose anything. After some time, that person will go to paradise because he has to fulfill his material desires, and the standard of life in heavenly planets is very, very high. After enjoying on the heavenly planets for a long, long time, he will return to this planet and will be born either in the family of the yogis, if his intentions were high enough, or in the family of rich, pious people, under whose guidance he will be very, very easily continuing his path. He will not have to work 12 hours a day for daily bread. No. Everything will come. Facilities to travel to India will come, find Guru, very quickly. So sons and daughters of rich parents, often they come to the path of yoga. It means they definitely were doing something before. So therefore Krishna is saying the first three verses of this chapter about who can and who cannot practice bhakti. Those who have no faith in this dharma of devotional service to me do not attain me. They wander on the path of material existence, which is full of death. In Mahabharata, there's one episode when Maharaj Yudhishthir, we were mentioning this in Hastings, is asked by Yaksha, Kim Ashcharyam, what is most amazing? And Maharaj Yudhishthir answered very, very nicely. The emperor of the whole world he was before, Yudhishthir Maharaj, 5,000 something years ago, 5,500. So what is most amazing? He's saying the most amazing thing in this world is that everybody around is dying, but I think that I will live forever. This is most amazing news. Most amazing phenomenon in this world. So that's why this world, Krishna is saying here, full of death. Full of death. But people are still looking, I will live forever. Who wants to live forever? And sing songs about that. But it's nothing forever. It's always about cross, That's it. It's good if the cross there may be atheists, so not even cross. So, therefore, Krishna is saying further on about the path of bhakti. We have to understand how Krishna controls this world. What place do we take in the existence of this world? And what is that material illusion Krishna creates? What is the relationship in this triangle? Ishvara, Jiva, and Maya. Ishvara means the Supreme Personality. Jiva means living entity, and Maya means illusion. So what is the interrelationship like? You can see the world, you can see this rain, you can see the woods, the forests, the seas, the lakes, and how is all that maintained? Swami Maharaj Prabhupada writes, it's truly wonderful, but a common person cannot understand. Therefore, common people speculate. They put forward their theories, they do investigation with their imperfect instruments, telescope, microscope, etc. But that's quite limited according to the level of their understanding with their senses. But it's not possible to ascertain how this world is maintained. That's why we need higher sources. So let's hear what Krishna says. He is the creator of that. If you want to know how a building is working, you need to approach an architect, isn't it? We're speaking about. So, especially if you have some emergency, then an architect will advise, what to do, and not only insurance agent, but architect. First of all, he must do. So, Krishna is saying, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina tatsthani sarva bhutani